Alright guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we are going to be talking about my GoPro Hero 12. I've been using this for the past couple weeks and it was an upgrade from my previous GoPro, and for the first time I can honestly say that this GoPro is a worthwhile upgrade for everybody. In the past, I've always kind of been disappointed with my GoPro's video quality, especially when you upgrade, you're hoping for something better. And of course, it comes with some features, improved stability and things like that, but it doesn't actually give you a better quality video. And I feel like the Hero 12 is the first GoPro to change that narrative, where it definitely is a higher quality camera in general and a worthwhile upgrade for pretty much anybody. Even if you're like me, you keep your GoPro for years, you don't upgrade every single time a new one comes out, and you're really just waiting for one that goes the next step in video performance. I'm not somebody that edits my videos. I don't do color grading and correction and all of that stuff in post. I just post my videos exactly how they come out of the GoPro. And like I said, this Hero 12 is just on another level. So in this video, we'll look at what you get with the Hero 12, and I'll talk a little bit more about my experience in testing it over the past couple months. And also, I will have my Amazon link down in the video description. So if you guys are interested, I definitely recommend shopping at Amazon. They usually have a sale, so I got mine for like 20 or 30 bucks off, even when GoPro themselves aren't having a sale. And shopping with my link, of course, helps support the channel as well. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. All right, so before we go too far, let's go ahead and just do a quick unboxing. So this is what the packaging looks like for the Hero 12. Pretty straightforward. If you guys have bought a GoPro before, then it probably looks pretty similar. But you can see it talks about some of the features and things as you go around it. And then on this side, it shows you everything that is in the package. So you get the GoPro, the battery, one of the screw attachments, 2 mounts, and then the USB cable. So this is kind of how it looks once you open it up, and it's this kind of, I guess, like recyclable case or something that it comes with. And if you open it up, you've got all the paperwork, and then, like I said, you've got your cable, you've got your 2 mounts. It does come with the bigger endurance battery, and then you've got the GoPro itself. So pretty simple. It's kind of like a little starter pack for anybody that doesn't have one. If you do have one, you've probably got a million of these mounts and stuff, so they're just going to be discarded because nobody needs that many. I have had a couple, and I guess let's go ahead and talk about some of the big differences here. So, like I said, I've had a few GoPros. This was actually an upgrade from my old Hero 8, and I also had a Hero 4, so I went from 4, 8 to 12. That makes me pretty happy saying that. I didn't actually realize I followed that pattern, but this was kind of my upgrade path. And I hold on to my stuff for a long time simply because I don't like paying for upgrades if I don't feel like there's a big benefit. But this Hero 12 is definitely the game changer out of all the GoPros that have come out so far for one main reason. A lot of these things that they upgrade with these GoPros are kind of like different settings and little features that didn't really help me. My main thing is I just want a GoPro that takes a better picture. I want to be able to point and shoot just like my phone. All the other reviews that I see on YouTube typically are edited videos, and they talk about how they manipulate the sound and the colors and all this stuff to get this amazing picture. That's not me. I'm just an amateur guy that just makes videos for fun. So I want something that just works out of the box. And that's where this Hero 12 HDR comes in handy. It's really amazing because compared to my old GoPro videos, if you guys watch my channel, pretty much all my content is car related. And when I do like a track video, for example, you can see from inside of the car that there are either 1 or 2 issues. Either the outside is really clear, but the inside is really dark, or the inside of the car is clear, which is usually what happens because that's the majority of the picture, and then the view through the windshield is like completely blown out. And the GoPros have always struggled with exposure. It has different settings where you can like try to set a point where it tries to automatically adjust for exposure and stuff. But if I mount it on my helmet or anything, it doesn't really work well. The Hero 12 HDR feature completely eliminates that problem, because now you go from this blown out picture to one that perfectly manages the light, makes sure that you can see the details inside the car and outside the car without touching anything. All you do is make sure HDR is turned on and it does the rest. For those of you guys that don't know, HDR basically takes multiple images for the same frame and combines them. So it takes a low exposure image, a high exposure image, and usually one in the middle, and it finds the way to get the most detail by combining all of those pictures together. So that's basically what it's doing. It's using high exposure for inside of my car, but low exposure for outside of my car, and putting those colors together to make that clear, much better image than what I was getting before. So yeah, I mean, that was the main reason why I went with the Hero 12 to begin with. Once I heard about them adding HDR and saw some of those clips, I knew it would be a big win for me. If you're somebody that only films inside footage or outdoors footage, you might not see that big of a difference. But anytime, say, like you're filming into a cave from outside, or you're filming out of your garage from inside of your garage, it'll do such a better job at managing the exposure and just making sure all the details are there, instead of potentially having one detail completely blown out or something really shadowy and dark where you can't see what's going on. So just for that reason alone, I'd say even if you have a Hero 11, upgrade to this Hero 12 ASAP. It will be a complete game changer for your footage. Now, it does also have some other benefits, especially if you guys have older GoPros, like I'm coming from a Hero 8. It does have a bigger sensor, so you're going to be able to capture more light. It should help it work at night better as well. And so depending on how dark the footage is, it should be able to bring out more light. I also feel like with HDR enabled, I'm not as sensitive to dialing in like ISO settings and stuff like that. So I just raise the ISO limit to the max and let the GoPro do its thing, and it seems to work pretty well. Still not foolproof, you know, having a light or something wherever you're filming, if it's dark, will really make this better. At the end of the day, it really is an action cam, but it does a much better job than the older GoPros did. Also, battery life is much better, which a part of that is with that new endurance battery. It does come with these new GoPros, so I didn't even have that option on my Hero 8, and that was a welcome upgrade. I was getting usually about an hour and a half of filming with this GoPro using the standard battery, and now with the new Hero 12, I can get almost 3 hours of recording, so it's much better than what it used to be. This also has the capability to connect to a wireless microphone, so it has the Bluetooth built in that can connect to like AirPods or Galaxy Buds or any other headphones that you have. Although the audio quality isn't that great, if you guys check out some clips on YouTube, you'll hear it's kind of muddy and almost sounds like you're underwater. So you won't be able to use that for like more professional microphones, but if you're in a pinch and just want to connect it to like some wireless mics that you have, then it is something that will work pretty well. Also, something I underestimated was the front color display, and my front display was fine, gave me all the information I needed. Even on my Hero 4, you know, it tells you what mode you're in, how much battery you have, stuff like that. And so the front color display does the same thing. In my mind, it's just another way to make the battery die faster. But it also gives you the preview option, which if you are filming yourself for a vlog, is really convenient to kind of frame up the image and make sure like you're centered in the picture. Having that visible through here is something I don't see them talk about a lot. They just kind of show color images, but it didn't actually factor in for me that you can frame yourself up and see a preview in this window as well. It also makes it easier to see at nighttime since it is backlit, so you can see at night what's going on in your preview as well. Another nice thing I saw is the way that it's storing the video is much better. In the past, I've usually filmed 4K 30 video, and it cuts all of my video clips to like these 8.5-minute videos, which was pretty annoying, especially if I'm doing a track day. I'm on the track for like 20 to 25 minutes. So I would have to stitch like 3 clips together to get that full session in. And anytime you stitch them together, you get that little clip of the audio, which is a little bit annoying. So having this work better will allow you basically to film twice as long without it cutting it into a smaller video clip. So I think I was seeing like 17 to 18-minute videos without it, you know, cutting those video clips at all. So that works great, especially for me. Like if I'm vlogging, it's usually like 10 or 15 minutes. So that works great. Or even if I'm doing a full track session, you know, if it's 20 to 25 minutes at most, I have to clip 2 videos together. So that's a welcome upgrade. I would love if they improved it even more to get it over like that 20 to 25 minute range. but definitely a big benefit compared to what it used to be. Now let's talk about the cons. So first one is none of my old mods worked. So if you're, again, somebody coming from a really old GoPro, like I had my Hero 8, I had the extra batteries. The batteries don't work with the new Hero 12. I had an extra charger. It does not work with the Hero 12. I had the media mod for this one. Again, it doesn't work with the Hero 12. So just keep that in mind. Some of the more recent ones, like the 10 and 11, use the same battery and media mod. But if you've got like an older one like me, where I thought they look pretty much the same, so maybe it'll fit, it won't fit. So I had to buy the new dual charger pack. This is what I use when I'm out because I don't always have somewhere convenient to charge batteries. And I wanted to make sure I had backup batteries if needed. Of course, now the battery life on here doesn't make this as necessary in most cases, but it is something that I have on hand. And then I also got the new media mod. So this allows me to connect my microphone. This is the main reason that I use it, so that I can get better audio quality when I'm vlogging. But yeah, those don't work if you have any accessories for like a Hero 8, for example. Another thing is it doesn't come with a case. And I don't know when they stopped doing that, but like this is the case that came with my Hero 8. So it basically just drops in right here and fits really well. So my first thought was, oh, well, maybe my Hero 12 will fit in there, but unfortunately it's like just a little bit too big, doesn't quite fit. So then my next thought was, okay, well maybe, you know, this paper tray will just drop in here as well. But again, it's like a little bit too tall, but I think I can make it fit. I'm gonna try to make it fit. It has like these extra nubs and like pieces down here that don't really hold anything. And so I'm thinking about cutting those off and trying to drop it in here to see if it fits. So I'll update this video if I can, you know, basically cut off the cover and cut off those lower corners to make it fit. But otherwise, yeah, this is just kind of cheap. Like nobody's really gonna use this and carry their camera around. Like this can just flop open and things can fall out. It's a waste. So it's really unfortunate that they don't give the actual carrying case anymore. Then the last issue that I ran into is overheating, which this was the first time I actually had an overheating issue. I see people talk about it from time to time, but I've never had that problem. And it's probably the first time I really filmed a long video as well, but I was using my GoPro for probably around 40 minutes. And it actually wasn't recording at the time, but I heard it turn off just because it was left on. And I saw the message that it said basically temperature warning or overheat warning, something like that. And the GoPro turned off. So I was kind of surprised to see that. You know, if you're not filming more than like 30 to 40 minutes at a time, it probably isn't an issue. And I probably shouldn't have left it on, but I was kind of filming on and off while I was driving. And I was waiting for like opportunities to film where there wasn't a lot of traffic and stuff like that. So I was basically turning on my camera, recording clips, then turning it off while I was, you know, coming up on different people on the road and stuff. So it helped on my vlog to make it more convenient, but then I had to wait like an hour for it to cool back down so it would actually work properly. So just something to consider. There definitely is potential for this to overheat, especially like I had it mounted up in my windshield and the sun was beating on it. So your mileage may vary, but just something to be aware of, something that I hadn't considered and hadn't faced in the past. And now I had to deal with it on one of my vlogs. Now, there are a couple other differences that I'm just indifferent about. I don't really care. One is the finish. A lot of people are saying, oh, you know, the blue flake and stuff looks better, but to me, it's just not really my style. I was fine with the black or even the silver, but, you know, they changed it. Another thing is the screw attachment on the bottom, so now it's easier to mount it in different scenarios where you used to kind of have to have an adapter that would fit on these feet and then allow it to mount onto like a tripod or something. Now you can screw it in directly. I don't really use this with a tripod. Everything that I do mounts fine with the feet for like my helmet and stuff. So good for people that want to use it, but that's not really something that I find too useful. Also, it still does not come with an SD card, and it still does not come with like an actual charger brick, which is unfortunate, but that's just, you know, the nature, the way of things nowadays. And also, there is no way to plug this in to keep it charged without taking the door off. So if you open this up, you can see you've got your battery, you've got your SD card slot, and then you've got your charging port, but you can't actually charge it without this being open. So if you wanted to say, like in my videos, drive with it plugged into like my cigarette lighter or something, so I wouldn't have to worry about battery issues. It just seems like leaving it open to the elements is not ideal. So that's not really something that I'm a fan of. I miss on my Hero where I could just plug it in and this was the full unit. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, it works just fine. It's just something that would be nice to have that capability. But yeah, overall, I think the Hero12 is a major upgrade, especially if you're like me and you just film videos for fun. You just like sharing content with your friends and stuff like that. You're not planning on sitting in front of a computer for hours, color grading and adjusting different things to make the picture look how you want it. This works great. You know, like I said, it's very similar to your phone where you can just kind of point and shoot and capture the video that you're looking for. I will have a link again down in the video description to Amazon where they usually have the best price. And that is also a great way to support the channel. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this purchase. And this will probably be the last GoPro that I buy for a while just because it works so well. So I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.